Please welcome Empire State Development President and CEO, Eric Gertler, Empire State Development Chairman, Howard Zemsky, and please welcome Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul.
Hello. Hope you don't mind me being back here with you again. You know, somebody said on my way up, Howard, I'm surprised to see you. I thought you were back running your business. I said, yeah, but after 5 years of running ESD, running your business is like being on vacation. So I was available. And I want all of you to know that, just generally speaking, I am available. Maybe you're planning a private party and you're nervous about low turnout for whatever reason. Keep me in mind. Maybe it's a family function. It gets tedious being with the same family members all the time. Just throw Howard in the mix. Who's that guy from Buffalo at Pop's party? Oh, that's Howard. He's available. Anyway, thank you for being here. This is the 9th Regional Economic Development Council Awards, and it is great to be with all of you. I've had the opportunity to be a former REDC co-chair, a former head of ESD, and now ESD chair. I take amazing pride in working with the governor for the past, in those capacities, 9 years. And I think it has been an incredible pleasure and honor to work with all of you who have done such an amazing job transforming really the entire state. So thank you for that. It has been an incredible privilege for me, and I think more has gotten done, honestly, and you know exactly what I mean, in this state in the last 10 years than in, half a century prior. It has been a remarkable accomplishment. I'd like to acknowledge some of our distinguished guests who have joined us today, starting with my good friend, the remarkable Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul. My ESD colleague and CEO of Empire State Development, Eric Gertler. The Mayor of Albany, Kathy Sheehan. Albany County Executive Dan McCoy. Onondaga County Executive Ryan McMahon. Broome County Executive Jason Garner. And the many other local elected officials from across the state joining us today, along with members of the governor's senior staff and administration, as well as our representatives in the state legislature. From the Senate, we welcome Senator Anna Kaplan, Senator Betty Little, Senator Tom O'Mara, and Senator Joe Griffo. From the Assembly, Assemblywoman Donna Lopardo, Assemblywoman Patricia Fahey, Assemblyman John McDonald, Assemblyman Jonathan Jacobson, Assemblywoman Mariana Buttonschone, Assemblyman Robert Smullen, Assemblyman Stephen Otis, and Assemblyman Billy Jones. Now, we have some folks who have done an extraordinary job for many years evaluating the teams and the strategic plans, and they are the members of the SIAT, Strategic Implementation Assessment Team. And I'm going to ask them to stand up when I call their name because they really deserve our gratitude. Rosanna Rosado, Secretary of State. Roanne DeStito, Commissioner, Office of General Services. Alicia Barton, President of NYSERDA. Eric Kulisade, Commissioner, Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation. Roberta Reardon, Commissioner, Department of Labor. Ruth Ann Visnauskas, Commissioner, Homes and Community Renewal. Richard Ball, Commissioner, New York State Department of Ag and Markets. Brian Stratton, Director, New York State Canal Corporation. Assembly Member Donna Lopardo. Senator Anna Kaplan. We appreciate your tremendous dedication and service. I also want to acknowledge the great REDC staff who work tirelessly behind the scenes. They do an amazing job. Please recognize Allie Walsh, Ashley McCluskey, Matt Iskro, Janine Lena, and all of our ESD regional directors throughout the state. Thank you for being with us. As you know, REDCs have transformed the state from Brooklyn to Buffalo and everywhere in between. It is a fundamental departure on how we did business. Please direct your attention to the screen and watch this short video that highlights the incredible progress that you have made.
Economies exist in regions, and it is up to that region to come up with a formula and a plan that works for that region. What we need to do is suit up and win again. New York can rise again.
We've extended our staff by 200%. We wouldn't have done it without the grant.
Our space has almost doubled. That's a lot more space, it's a lot more food, a lot more people.
I have not seen the level of support that we get here in New York.
There's never been a program like this instituted. The infrastructure that we put in today inside of here is the most modernized system, but it couldn't happen if you didn't have Governor Cuomo injecting those funds.
Hudson Hall received a $1.3 million REDC grant to complete the restoration of our performance hall and reopen it to the public for the first time in 55 years.
We're working with private developers to see that investment, to bring back these upstate New York communities that have been neglected for so long.
The REDC process has brought voices to the table from across the entire region. This $50 million that we've seen come in has also been leveraged by private investment.
There's jobs that are coming here that haven't been here before.
It's not just about the projects, it's about planning for the future.
The level of collaboration is literally unprecedented.
And the REDC is filling a tremendous need today. When you look at all the projects that the REDC is funding, they end up being this incredible catalyst for exponential economic growth.
We are going to be a stronger state, and we're going to have stronger communities within our state because of this process.
This year, we opened up this beautiful building to expand our programming free of charge for children with cancer and their siblings.
They kickstarted our business, and we would certainly not be here today without that help.
We've grown to almost 1,400 people today.
This impact goes right back into these local communities. The state recognized that, and that's pretty impressive.
The tide was against us. The tide is now with us. This time we're not playing catch up. This time we're actually paving the way. And now we've prepared for a future that's going to be brighter than ever. And that's what you did.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure and privilege to introduce to you the chair of all the regional councils and a tireless champion and advocate for every one of your regions across the state, Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul.
I guess it's afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, and it's good to know that I can put an extra seat out at my dinner parties and always have someone like Howard sit there and regale my guests with great stories. And to Howard, to talk about your extraordinary legacy now. I want to thank you on behalf of nearly 20 million New Yorkers whose lives have been transformed through the economic development process, and you led the charge from Western New York, the hardest hit part of our state, bar none, all the way to being the governor's right-hand person. So let's give another round of applause to Howard Zemsky. And to Eric Gertler, who stepped into this role, and I think he's trying to rival me for the most miles traveled around the state. He has been everywhere that I've been, making sure that he understands the needs of every corner of the state, and he is doing an exceptional job already. To our president and CEO of the Empire State Development, Eric Gertler. Another round of applause, please. To the extraordinary team of professionals, the governor's cabinet, my dear, dear friends, and to the Empire State Development group of people who are so passionate about their work, and they are truly the unsung heroes, and I want to give them another extension of our appreciation for the work they do. There's a lot of stress involved, a lot of balls in the air, but they get it done 9 straight years successfully. So to the Empire State Development team, let's give them another round of applause. And I'd just like to acknowledge the people that are behind this curtain. You may think that Oz is back there. Yes, there are people running around making sure that every detail of events like this go off in an exceptional way. And did anybody notice that the lights are configured to look like New York State? I mean, do you notice these kind of details that these young people work on? I want to give them a round of applause as well. The people behind the curtain, the governor's team will make this happen. You know, you saw in the video, it really just hit you to think about how far we've come in 9 years and how down and out our state truly was. I was a local official. I don't think most people in Albany, other than our local officials, could find my community on a map because there was not attention given to upstate New York and the far reaches of the state. And I have been so proud to work in an administration with a governor who gets it, who realized that by empowering the people in the communities and the people in this room with the ability to chart your own future, to determine the destiny of the community that you love, is going to be a recipe for incredible success. And now, not just in videos, but when you're out there, walking the streets with the people, going to the ribbon cuttings, the groundbreakings, sitting there in meetings with local elected officials, you know what I know, that there is a sense of optimism that didn't exist for literally 40 years in the state of New York. It is a sign of a comeback, and you have all played an exceptional role. So I thank all of you for being willing to give of your time, your talents, and I know there's a lot of long meetings, a lot of decisions to be made, brilliant projects that come to the doors, but you have to winnow it down to the chosen ones. But now we can look back and say what a difference we've made. So as you know, the governor has absolutely redefined the delivery of economic development dollars in our state. There is no going back. We've reached a certain status where this is now the norm. But our governor always likes to raise the bar. That's what I love about him. We're always pushing ourselves to do even better and push ourselves to even do greater heights for the people of the state of New York. And so we're going to continue. And I thank our members of the legislature who make sure that we have the funding resources for this. It doesn't happen by itself. It's a vision that you have helped implement, and I know that you also feel the successes in all the regions. So together, we've generated more jobs, we've set tourism records, and I have been to every single tourism site in this state. So if you're planning a vacation, give me a call. I will tell you where to go. And I want to tell you that I have felt the revitalization of downtowns where they had given up hope. And that is the best part of my job, to be able to go there and look in the faces of these people. And they know that their days are now much brighter going forward because they were a recipient of money through this process. And also, and I know John Majori's here, he knows what I'm talking about, the brain drain that we lived with for so many decades. We were exporting our greatest talent, and those were our young people. Instead of a brain drain, we now have the brain gain that people are now finding. Our downtowns, and they want to be here. They could live anywhere in this country, and they're now rediscovering the great state of New York. So they're planting their roots here. Businesses are expanding. New business find us, but also the existing established businesses who never had a reason to talk about expansion are now growing. You saw that in the video as well. So we don't do it without you. I hope your hearts are welling with the same pride that I feel every single day as I get to explore this fascinating state. And we've made a big difference. And we focused on the different challenges that the regions have. And one of them we know, we've heard loud and clear, every one of you, is workforce development. Now, a lot of people aren't quite sure what it means. It's not a sexy phrase. And if you come up with better branding, let me know. But we all know what I'm talking about. It's about addressing the needs of the local employers. Because when people like John Majori and I were growing up in Buffalo, and Howard knows this as well, we didn't worry about workforce development because there were no jobs to train people for, right? This is a good problem to have. This means there are actually jobs and businesses who will grow if we can give them people with the skills they're looking for. And that's the brilliance of the Regional Economic Development Councils, in harnessing the power of academia as well. So many of our co-chairs coming out of our academic institutions, that's the talent we're also using to address this need, and that's why you have been empowered with the access to $175 million additional for workforce development just this past year, and we're starting to see the difference. That is something I'm extremely proud of, meeting that challenge. Because of your work, we've also created one of the nation's leading life science clusters in our own backyard, something we're very proud of. We've built so much when we had so little to work with, but we made a difference. We reclaimed vacant land to construct new buildings, offices, and desperately needed housing. How many places do you go, whether it's the North Country or Brooklyn, where people are talking about the need for affordable housing? Ruth Ann, you know how many ribbon cuttings we've been to together. We are making a difference in these downtowns. We're building new infrastructure. We've given up waiting for the federal government to deliver on their responsibility to make sure that our localities have additional, the acceptable level of resources for infrastructure. I'm a former local official. I knew my town, we couldn't afford to put in the sewer and water lines to update 100-year-old systems. Through this, we've been able to infuse money into downtowns and make that happen. Work on new streets, bridges, sidewalks, all the walkable communities that we now have that are accessible for people with disabilities or young people want to take their bikes around. We're making that kind of difference through infrastructure. So the direct impact on New Yorkers, how does 8.3 million jobs sound to you? That is an extraordinary accomplishment, all-time high. Unemployment remains low, and that is music to my ears as an area that once Bethlehem Steel left, we didn't know there was going to be a future. And I know there are parts of our state we have more work to do, but that's where we're going to continue. We are not giving up on any corner of this state. And so, on behalf of the governor, our entire administration, I thank each and every one of you for caring enough about your community to show up when it's 6 degrees temperature here in Albany. And for some of you, that might be a warm-up. Billy Jones, how are things in the North Country, Billy? But you show up. You care. And that's what makes all the difference. And that's why the way you executed Governor Cuomo's vision has been brilliant and impactful and is making a legacy that every one of you should be proud of. And so with that, I want to thank particularly the co-chairs who've had the weight of this burden on their shoulders. Some of you for 9 years. Some of you are newer, but you're going to age quickly. I guarantee it. This process does this to you. Some of you have been there, and I want to call all of you up to the stage and give you the recognition that you deserve from not just the Governor Cuomo and myself, but nearly 20 million grateful New Yorkers. So from Western New York, let's call up Dr. Catherine Conway Turner. Please join us on the stage. From the Finger Lakes region, former Lieutenant Governor Bob Duffy, who was one of the early pioneers in the creation of the REDCs. From the Southern Tier, Judy McKinney-Cherry and Dr. Harvey Stanger. From Central New York, President Deborah Stanley and Randy Wolkin. From the Mohawk Valley, Dr. Marion Terenzio. From the North Country, James McKenna. From the Capital Region, Ruth Mahoney and Dr. Javidan Rodriguez. From the Mid-Hudson region, Dr. Donald Christian. And from New York City, Cheryl Moore. And the Long Island region, Kevin Law. And a special thank you to two of our past co-chairs who are here today. I'd like to welcome to the stage Tom Tranter from the Southern Tier and Michael Castellana from the Capital Region to join us as well. I want to thank each and every one of you. Thanks for the extraordinary plans that you've implemented that have brought us here today. From the Capital Region to Western New York, the North Country, all the way down to Long Island, you have made us stronger. And you have made us the envy of the nation. And for that, we say thank you.
Okay. Well, it's a pleasure to be joined by Eric for the moment we've all been waiting for the 2019 REDC Awards. Each of the 10 regions is competing for a stake of $761 million. 5 regions will be designated top performers, and the remaining 5 will be regional council awardees. Now, let me just tell you how this works so you know how to respond and to whom. Now, this isn't anything I have made up. This is just a long-standing tradition, and these traditions need to be respected. What happens is the outgoing CEO of ESD gets to select the top performers. The incoming CEO of ESD selects the lesser performers. So if you're dissatisfied in any way, please see Eric. And also, Brendan Hughes has probably had something to do with that as well. feel free to see Brendan as well. And I'm available for any gratitude or jubilation or parties. So let's start with Western New York. Western New York, as the Lieutenant Governor has identified, as a proven record of success. Their economic development strategies continue to have amazing impact for the region, with sustained growth in jobs that we have never seen before, number of firms, wages, and productivity in the last 9 years. Western New York has added more than 17,700 jobs and over 1,100 new firms and $5.6 billion increase in total wages from 2011 to 2018. Please look at the Western New York video.
If there's one thing Western New Yorkers know how to do, it's to weather the storm. Thanks to REDC's strategic investments, the sun is shining again on this resilient region. The REDC is prioritizing workforce development projects like the Girard Place Community Center. Now open on Buffalo's east side, the new facility offers valuable job training, education, and support services to end the cycle of poverty. Walkable Olean is building on the DRI investment in its downtown with a new permanent event space at Lincoln Square, transforming the community and boosting local business. With new attractions like a jellyfish gallery and the Humboldt Penguin exhibit, the Aquarium of Niagara is really making a splash, breaking attendance records and breaking ground on exciting new projects. Also driving tourism, Buffalo's Darwin Martin House, where the restoration of the historic Frank Lloyd Wright House is now complete, marking the end of a 2 decades-long revival of an iconic attraction. Visitors can end a busy day seeing the region with a little luxury on the lake. The stunning new Chautauqua Harbor Hotel offers 135 rooms and world-class service all year round. These are just a few ways the Western New York Regional Council is giving a second chance to a region that's now known for a whole lot more than the weather.
Just to clarify, those weather images were borrowed from Syracuse. Just to let you know that. Western New York will continue their progress and will receive $67.3 million as a regional council awardee. Congratulations to Western New York and co-chair Kate Conway Turner.
Well, good afternoon, and notwithstanding the designation and allocation of the awards, I still want to thank Howard for his mentorship, his friendship, and always being available. And I also want to thank the Lieutenant Governor for her leadership and her tireless efforts in helping us to grow the economy and do all this great work around the state. So this is the 9th REDC Awards. This is my first. Howard said we're going to transition you in slowly. And being slow and simple and just getting to the money is the way to do it. So next up is the Finger Lakes region. The growth experienced in the Finger Lakes region is really quite impressive. Through the hard work of the Finger Lakes Regional Economic Development Council, great companies such as Z-Access, ITX, Security Risk Advisors, Field Techs, Tompkins Metal Finishing, Monroe Redcom, Evolve Additive Solutions, Armada Tool America, Innovative Solutions, Hickey Freeman, and Real Eats have all expanded in the Finger Lakes region.
Moving the Finger Lakes forward started with sowing seeds. You can see the fruits of the Regional Council's labor all across the region. such as in the construction of the new building at the Golisano Autism Center, where they're not just growing jobs, they're transforming autism services in the region. The Finger Lakes are teaming up with Southern Tier and Central New York to launch the new Grow New York Food and Agriculture Business Competition, connecting the brightest entrepreneurs with local industry partners to work on cutting-edge ideas for a top prize of $1 million. And at Real Eats, they're adding 400 new jobs over the next 5 years. Is another shining example of the Finger Lakes' vibrant agriculture and food processing sector. They're also rocking in Rochester as the transformative projects of the Rock the Riverway plan get underway, supporting the city's local waterfront revitalization program. The old Eastman Kodak building is also finding a new purpose thanks to a new tenant, Innovative Solutions. The software development company has set up shop in the 19,000 square foot facility now known as the Riverwood Tech Campus. When it comes to places where innovation can flourish, businesses can thrive, and jobs can be grown, the Finger Lakes has proven to be fertile ground.
Right. To continue the Finger Lakes forward momentum, we are pleased to announce that the region will receive $64.4 million as a Regional Council awardee. So, congratulations to Finger Lakes and Co-Chair Bob Duffy, as well as the state legislators and local elected officials from the region.
Next up, the Southern Tier. The Southern Tier is soaring, and through the hard work of the REDC has supported over 600 projects, generating more than $1.8 billion in private investment, which create or retain over 25,000 jobs. The Southern Tier.
The Southern Tier REDC has invested in its key industries and highlighted the assets that invite world-class companies to put their roots down in the region. The 76 West Clean Energy Competition is not only bringing talent and technology to the tier, it provides the support and space to foster the innovation critical to combating climate change. They don't waste resources in Johnson City either. At Binghamton University, the Decker School of Nursing has found its home in the Endicott Johnson's Shoebox Factory, joining the pharmacy school at the Health Sciences campus. The future of the Southern Tier depends on developing the agriculture-based economy. Upgrades at H.P. Hood's Arkport facility, one of 5 in the state, fosters job growth and strengthens the dairy processing industry. The Southern Tier is not only soaring, it's blooming, thanks to a council sowing the seeds of success and breathing new life into the regional economy.
The Southern Tier will receive $88.9 million as a top performer.
Okay. Now we have Central New York. Central New York is truly crushing it, making great strides since 2011. Central New York has advanced over 780 projects recommended by the Central New York REDC, leveraging nearly $4.5 billion in added private investment.
The Central New York REDC is determined to help this region rise to new heights. Its major investment in the UTM drone testing corridor connecting Rome and Syracuse is supporting unmanned aerial systems startups working out of the Genius New York Business Competition Accelerator in downtown Syracuse. In Oneida, Green Empire Farms is set to double its greenhouse space and add 200 employees, increasing their production of fruits and vegetables, which are sold throughout the eastern seaboard. And as business and tourism grow, new and repeat visitors are arriving at Syracuse's new and improved Hancock International Airport. Previous DRI winner Oswego is connecting its freshly beautified waterfront with an increasingly vibrant downtown. Work is underway on West 1st Street, where a mixed residential and commercial space will attract additional residents and businesses. And right down the street, culture, education, and tourism are converging in the Port City's new Children's Museum. The Central New York REDC has a proven track record of getting results, ensuring that CNY will continue to rise in 2020 and beyond.
Great. With thanks to co-chairs Randy Wolkin and Deborah Stanley, and thanks to state legislators and local elected officials, we are pleased to announce that Central New York will receive $86.2 million as a top performer.
Okay, on to the Mohawk Valley. Besides their amazingly good food and great coffee, the Mohawk Valley shines in a way that it hasn't in a very, very long time. The future is incredibly bright now for the Mohawk Valley as it is realizing itself as a leader in cybersecurity, unmanned aerial systems, advanced electronics, and semiconductors. The future is bright for the Mohawk Valley.
The Mohawk Valley REDC is writing a quintessentially American comeback story. The region is positioning itself as a global leader in cybersecurity. Its hub centralized at the Griffith Business and Technology Park. Its Open Innovation Campus will foster research collaboration and solve complex issues in cybersecurity. The Council's also committing to attracting and retaining top talent, creating the Air City Lofts, a mixed-use housing community for Griffith's employees. Power equipment manufacturer Briggs & Stratton is moving into a more modern space in Sherrill that will increase its production capacity. In Utica, this year's DRI awardee, the Bargain Grocery is expanding to provide healthy, affordable food to more people, all while supporting a growing workforce. And the rest of the world is beginning to take notice, with Cree, the global leader in silicon carbide technology, investing $1 billion at the Marcy Nano Center, where they'll build a first-of-its-kind fabrication facility. It's all proof that by thinking bigger, the Mohawk Valley can catalyze a classic comeback.
The Mohawk Valley will receive $82.7 million as a top performer.
Now we're on to our largest region, the North Country. The North Country, with its unparalleled beauty, remains a year-round tourist destination. Direct visitor spending was up 4.8% last year, with over $2 billion spent locally in the North County since 2018. In addition, the region has made a lot of progress in other strategic sectors such as manufacturing, innovation, agriculture, and renewable energy, just to name a few.
On the edge of a new decade, the North Country REDC is reflecting on the many mountains climbed while setting its sights on even higher elevations. Head over to the recently opened veteran-owned Woods Inn Carriage House Suites, lakefront lodging with breathtaking views. Or the shores of the Scroon River, where the transformation of the former Frontier Town amusement park into a multi-use equestrian campground is providing a recreational gateway to the Adirondacks. 3 outdated motels were demolished to make way for the Saranac Waterfront Lodge on Lake Flower, a 93-room lodge bringing new life to the area. And as more visitors stream in, projects like the Riverside Drive reconstruction in Clayton are improving the look and feel of the region's downtown. Other strategic investments are making the North Country a destination for some of the world's top winter sports athletes. Complementing the significant improvements at historic Olympic venues is Lake Placid's new Adirondack Health Medical Fitness Center, which opened this past summer directly across the street from the Olympic Training Center. As the council turns its attention to the future, new leadership is determined to capitalize on the momentum with a focus on placemaking, workforce development, innovation, and tradable sectors to propel the North Country to its highest peak yet.
With thanks to Co-Chair James McKenna, and to build on all the great work, the North Country will receive $67.9 million.
More and more, the Capital Region is being recognized nationally as a place to be for cutting-edge research and development, as well as a rich diversity of arts and culture. Earlier this year, the area jumped 11 spots on U.S. News and World Report's Best Cities to Live rankings. The area ranked 10th on ZipRecruiter's list of the hottest cities for jobs, and 21st on WalletHub's most educated cities in America, the Capital Region.
The Capital Region creates projects and possibilities, opportunities and investments, results and rewards. Hudson Valley Community College is meeting a renewed demand for manufacturers with its new Center for Advanced Manufacturing Skills, providing the industry with the trained workforce it needs to thrive. Troy's reputation for technological advancement lends itself well to Velen Ventures, a renowned video game developer with deep roots in Tech Valley. The company is investing in the city's downtown, expanding its footprint and gearing up to create jobs. The grand reopening of Hudson Hall at the historic Hudson Opera House, a Round 5 REDC awardee, has not only revived a site that once welcomed prominent politicians and performers, but has also given back to the community in the form of a workforce development program. In Green Island, the apartments and commercial space at historic Starbuck Island will revitalize the waterfront, establish a walkable neighborhood, and bring in new business. While the industries and communities of the Capital Region evolve, its creativity and innovation endures. By connecting the past and the future, this council's plans have become a reality today.
The Capital Region will receive $84.1 million.
Now we'll head just a little south to the Mid-Hudson region. The Mid-Hudson region, too, has seen many successes since 2011 and has been awarded more than $648 million through 8 rounds of the REDC for 815 projects and is projected to create more than 6,000 permanent jobs. This has led to steady private sector growth, low unemployment, and in 2018, tourism spending exceeded $5.3 billion and 52,675 direct jobs in the tourism industry alone.
2019 was a season of song and celebration in the Mid-Hudson. Woodstock's 50th anniversary weekend once again brought peace, love, and music to Bethel, along with 100,000 visitors. 3 days of performances and special events were made possible by the Mid-Hudson REDC. There's another center for the arts that has reason to celebrate now that it's transformed a former steel plant into a state-of-the-art hub for business and career development. The Marist College Steel Plant is renovated and expanded to support the school's fashion and art and digital media programs. In Kingston, Energy Square is replacing a vacant bowling alley with affordable homes, commercial space, and an elevated park. The council has championed the Mid-Hudson as a place to live, work, and play, a philosophy coming to life in Goshen, where awesome awaits at Legoland. The resort will create full, part-time, and seasonal jobs and feature more than 50 rides, as well as a 250-room hotel set to open in the summer of 2020. The REDC is sparking innovation and embracing the free spirit of the region, a region that took a chance on a plan 50 years ago that still works today. It takes just one idea, a little help from your friends, and a lot of love to change the world.
It's great to see such great representation from the region here today. And I'm pleased to announce that the Mid-Hudson region will receive $65.8 million.
The New York City region has been awarded $549.6 million over 8 funding rounds to create and retain over 37,000 jobs and leverage $4.3 billion in private and other public investments. Please watch New York City.
New York is generations of American workers, men and women of many different national origins, who have given their lives to the building of America.
The New York City REDC has championed an idea as old as the 5 boroughs. New York City is only as strong as its people. The council is continuing to supply businesses with the skilled workers they need and bring New Yorkers the economic justice they deserve. The nonprofit Exalt is doing just that in its new Lower Manhattan facility, where they provide mentoring, career readiness programs, and internships to young New Yorkers. The Henry Street Settlement is also expanding its services. the organization transformed a historic firehouse into an expanded center. Meanwhile, the largest woman-owned catering and food services company in the city is relocating to the Bronx. Great Performances is doubling the size of their former location, allowing them to create nearly 200 new jobs. And an expansion at Boyce Technologies has allowed the company to exceed its job creation goals and develop partnerships with area schools. New York City endures, and thanks to this regional council, it keeps inviting all of the world's citizens to be a part of its extraordinary story.
New York is a city of people, and it is the city's people that make it great.
To keep up their great work, New York City will receive $66.3 million.
And now to Long Island. Long Island has received $638.3 million for 791 projects, and through the fine work of the REDC, 33,000 jobs have been created or retained, and 81% of all projects are complete or on schedule.
You don't have to look far to find the beauty and burgeoning businesses that make Long Island one of a kind. Sunrise Steam Shack offers a summer camp for kids with cancer and their siblings, preparing today's youth to be tomorrow's leaders. You can build strong minds and strong bodies at the Huntington YMCA's new Healthy Living Center. This state-of-the-art wellness center is helping Long Islanders spin, swim, and slide their way to a healthier future. The United Way's Vets Build program is changing the future for veterans, providing job training and connecting local heroes to employment opportunities. At Spectrum Designs, they're printing possibilities for adults with autism, providing valuable, hands-on training to young adults who often find themselves shut out of the workforce. And the first two buildings of the Ronkonkoma Hub are now open. Alston Station Square is the start of a new development, turning 53 acres of underutilized land into more than 1,400 residential homes. Through the REDC's investments, Long Island is a destination that keeps tourists coming back and the locals living well.
Well, first, congratulations to co-chair Kevin Law, who's been very patient, waiting to the last award, as well as to state legislators and local elected officials. And to add a little twist, Long Island is a top performer for their projects, and Long Island will receive $87.9 million.
Folks, thank you all so much for attending. Thanks for all your extraordinary work. We want to congratulate all the winners today, and of course there were only winners today. And remember, if you're not happy, Eric Gertler